What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Merricks Garage. This is a special one for you guys. I felt so bad about missing last week's. I have been sick as a dog. But we're heading out to Hammers. So I wanted to leave you guys with a little bit of a departure from some of my normal videos. This was back last year at SEMA when Stephen Watson of OffRoad Design and myself decided to roam around the outdoor expo, taking a look at all the cool stuff, including a swarm of brodozers. You're going to get all the hijinks and all the insight and some technical tips from Stephen and I. I think you guys will dig it, and I will be back with a massive video on the hammers, on the finish of the truck, and all the stuff that went into getting this thing back on the road. We are out on the outside exhibition. I am looking for Stephen Watson from OffRoad Design. We are going to connect and give you guys a little SEMA walkthrough. Merricks Garage Off-Road Design version. We're taking a look at some amazing big trucks and critiquing their suspension work. It's going to be awesome. Let's go find them. I got the ORD crew, and we are shopping new products for their catalog. I think Stephen is going to be getting into the candy powder coated springs and steering crowd.
Lots of awesome ideas.
What has been your oh my gosh, what did you do moment?
I'm not sure exactly which one really epitomizes that, but I don't know. The funny thing is there's islands of sanity.
Oh yeah.
Here. I mean, well, turn right.
Yep. I see what you mean. This is... I'm kind of surprised, Stephen. I thought you would be choosing something else, but whatever. Yeah.
Look, point this way.
Yeah.
So this thing's super cool. And it's actually a guy that was on a trail ride with me in 2002. And I didn't remember him. He was in a Toyota that tipped over and we helped him out. And he does really awesome fabrication work now.
Yes, he does.
And obviously won some sort of award for it. I don't know what the criteria are, but he's got...
I think he just made those.
Probably not.
Yeah, this is... I'm a big fan of the patina on the body.
Yeah, the body's awesome. When you look at everything, it's a tamed down Ultra 4 car underneath it.
Yeah.
Rear engine, it's actually got a dry sump system.
All TIG welded.
Oh, it's gorgeous work. It's
Yeah, I mean, look at
the front end with a portal setup.
It's got a portal pin up front.
Yeah. Yeah, so those are Hummer portal hubs that you have. So the front diff's right side up because the engine's in the back, so it's spinning it backwards.
Yeah,
making
so
the Hummer portals work. You know, just tons of beautiful work on it.
it's the kind of build that you've got to spend quite a few minutes here to appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
It's like these Hutchinson military B blocks. These things are burly. I think that Hutchinson's #1 customer is the U.S. military. So, but that's not what we came to make fun of.
Right. These are islands of sanity.
What do you think about? Did you see the
Let's
ATV
go with the dumbest
the
thing
portals?
out here is really giant tires, and let's look at this. So
Let's take a
what
look
do,
at
what
that.
do we have? We've got a 44 on a 30-inch wheel. So the wheel has what, 5 inches of ground clearance, maybe?
You're missing the point, dude. This has 4 lugs, and it's running off of
Portal boxes.
and I think it's got mountain bike disc brakes in it,
probably.
and airbags on the ATV. Did you see the? There's a blue. It's got. Oh my gosh, Rockwell axles, ATV.
Oh yeah, yeah. The thing is
Rockwell's
enormous
on an
and
ATV.
it has the stock engine. Well, I don't know that it's a stock engine, but
And
it
it's
has
running
a
like a
UTV
1008 gear ratio.
Oh, it's got some, big giant drop box in it, so it's probably got a giant gear ratio. But yeah, it's running a UTV engine with the centrifugal clutch.
So it doesn't move very well.
Yeah, this is clearly things that we don't understand.
We don't want to.
We don't need to.
I haven't been able to figure out where this sprung from, because it seems like back in the day when big lifts were all about how many shocks you could put on it, they still had some sort of like...
No, there's been missing drive shafts here the whole time I've been
Oh, no, I get all that. I'm just saying, like, so we moved from like KC Highlights and Rancho shocks on everything.
Right.
Those cars still had some off-road ability. Like they had super stiff springs, but they still
really
would
the
work.
biggest thing with a lot of these that makes them to where they wouldn't work off-road is really just the wheel and tire package.
And the lack of a drive shaft.
And the lack of drive shaft. Got to have some priorities.
Oh, but look.
Island of Sanity.
I mean, squares are big.
Ridiculously cool. We've got skinned out bedsides and pro touring awesomeness. I don't even know what all of it is, but it's
It looks fast.
Things. Something that works goes
When
on.
Here's a question. So I think this is the year of the Gladiator.
Oh.
Look
They're
at
all
Gladiator.
All of them are here. It would actually be a terrible vehicle to develop a market for because they're all here and they all have crap all over them.
Yep.
So there are no Gladiators left to put parts on.
They have all been assigned to SEMA.
They all have SEMA spots.
That and the first gen Broncos, which Ford did a really cool
Ton
job.
of those now.
Do you
Have
ever
you
think-
walked through the race truck area over
Oh,
here
yeah.
with the Broncos?
Yeah.
The Moss Brothers Broncos is Rod Hall's Bronco. I mean, there's legends over there, but
And the Von Gittin Ultra. Woo, buddy.
yeah.
That's the one. I don't know if you saw the Baja 1000 version of the Bronco.
I've seen video
Just
clips.
yeah. Ford has the potential to do something really cool with the Bronco. I'm concerned that I think they're going to be headed the Ranger direction.
It's on apparently it's around the Ranger platform.
Should be around
guys
the
that I've
Raptor.
talked to that have worked on it have not. They've got non-disclosures,
Yeah.
so there's not much information there. But they said that it's basically like a 7-open truck. Is kind of the hint that we're getting. So
Yeah.
it sounds like it's going to be around the Ranger platform, which it would
Mistake.
be really cool to just have a truck-based, even if it's Ford.
Yeah.
Just having a truck-based SUV again would be really cool, and
Yep.
maybe it'd kick GM in the jeans.
I don't understand why they're not gonna. Well, GM, I don't. They're doubling down on the Colorado.
Right.
Because I saw the 2021, and yep, it's got some
Yeah.
front facelift onto it.
Did you walk by their booth and see the full-size race truck?
Yeah.
That's going to be really cool.
Did
too.
you see the electric in the C10?
I walked by the C10 and didn't go look at it. I didn't notice that part.
Bell housing, bolts, put it right up to a 4L80.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really
Yeah.
cool.
So plug and play electric engines are going to be
They
coming.
get that stuff figured out. And
So do you think
that's a crate engine swap that
Smog
I can get
legal.
into. It better be.
Yeah, smog. Well, in California, we never know.
Right.
Do you
Not Prop
see
65 though.
do you see K5s ever becoming a show darling?
Oh, there's not as many here, but there are definitely show Blazers here,
Oh yeah,
and a pretty good handful of them, and there have been more and less over the years. So I don't know. We'll see. We talked to one company that's doing a reproduction Blazer body.
yeah.
So they get to that point.
Wait, really?
Not currently, but we asked them about it, and they're like, yeah, we've had a lot of demand for it.
A K5 Blazer body.
A 72. They've got a 72 cab, pickup cab now.
Huh.
And so we asked them about the Blazer tub, and they said they were looking at it next year.
That's pretty cool.
So that would be really cool. You're getting close to being able to build a
A
Blazer
Blazer.
that didn't start as anything.
Yeah. So we are here in Bronco World.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Ford put some extra resources into getting a bunch of Broncos here because they did their, they're going to release a Bronco. There's all kinds of hype and stuff going on, but this one is super cool because this is a old race truck, been around forever, has always been super reliable, has won Class 3 championships and races for literally decades. I mean, I raced against these guys in 03, 04, and they'd been running a long time before that and have been running since. So it doesn't really look all that special, but they know how to drive it and they know how to prep it, and it's just well put together. And that's one of the things in the limited classes, and Class 3 is a limited class. You have to run the factory spring system for both suspensions, so you're limited to a leaf spring in the back. And in a Bronco, you can run a coil up front, which opens them up for a coilover. In a Blazer, you have to run a leaf spring or ram charger. You know, anything with leaves has to keep them. And so it's well built for what it is. And driving a limited vehicle like this, you just have to drive it carefully and within its limits and know what those are. They've got, you know, nice big bypass shock in here. Obviously running the coil over because being coil sprung, they're still held up by a coil. So
you see what they're running in the back?
It's okay. Yeah.
The bypass on the leaves?
Yeah. No, that's
it's actually a very clean packaging.
Yeah, that's old desert race technology. You know, leaf springs and the nice big bypass shock is.
What do you think? What motor is this?
I think they run a 400. That's something, the score rules don't give you a ton of leeway in the engine also. So I think it is a 400 modified. It has to be something that would have been in the Bronco.
And look at this.
Oh yeah.
Factory grille.
Yep. They want it to look like a Bronco also, which, you know, you can tell they've replaced the bed sides and
many times
done stuff to them, but yeah, there's...
and what, this is like a 78?
78 or 79, I'm not sure.
79.
Okay.
And some of these, they're even dirty.
Yeah, those two are also legendary. Rod Hall's stuff and Big Ole, those are things that you don't see every day. And this thing is...
the Fun Haver.
Yeah, so this was actually an Ultra 4 modified car that was like the only IFS modified car ever built before they outlawed IFS for modified, essentially. And so they, Von Gittin turned it into an unlimited car and has been racing it. I think Lauren Healy actually drove it the last races, and they're partnered up, which is super cool. Lauren's a super cool guy and excellent fit, I think, for the Fun Haver team, because he is definitely a fun haver and a great driver, and I know he learns a lot from Ron, and they trade knowledge back and forth. And, but yeah, this is a super cool car.
I'm surprised there's not more Ultras out here. I mean, there's the Genride inside.
Yeah, actually two. I think
those are not.
Yeah. Cody's car's in there.
I thought I'd seen some Gomez.
Jordan Pellegrino's car is the Genrite car, which is amazing. That's the
IFS, IRS, Triton.
Yep, IRS setup.
Yeah.
With portals.
Yep.
Actually, Cody Wagner's car is very similar. And, Waylon Campbell's new car is sitting out here.
That is his new one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they just finished it.
Yeah, the old one is available for a cool 160.
They just put it together.
And it looks just like the old one.
Yeah, that one's a really cool car to look at if you're looking at race car details, because it's the culmination of what the Campbells know about racing.
Oh yeah. The Campbells are down here.
Yeah,
I believe. We should go. Let's go see if we can find their car. Okay, here we have one of the new Campbell builds. This is Waylon's new truck. It still has the forward cab, rear engine. Do you know what major changes they made?
So I don't know enough about their cars to know what's changed from car to car, but they have, well, there's, look at the end of the pulley.
It's a big block.
Yeah.
That's a change.
Well, kind of an LS-based big block. I don't know how you get 492 cubes out of a small block, but they've got it. Just a ton of really clean fabrication work on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all you can tell they know they've done everything. They know where things are supposed to go, and
They know what works, they know what doesn't, and they know what they need and what they don't.
you know, I'm sure there are small changes. There's some really cool, really on purpose things. Like, check this out. So this radiator top bracket actually has the mounting tabs for mounting this light, which is actually a really cool Baja Designs light, built into it. They're folded in. So this was planned from the start for these two pieces to be integrated.
That's what's cool about these.
Yeah, you know, look at this interior, super clean. There's no sea of switches. You know, it's everything you need, nothing you don't. Super clean. Tie down strap over there. Yeah. Oh, he likes it. Look at the wiring job for those Deutsche connectors.
Yeah.
You know, heat shrink on everything. Yeah, there's really amazing work everywhere. Yeah. On the details. Check the skid plates on the AR.
Oh, this heavy-duty Lexan or plastic is.
Dude, it roasts.
Yeah. So we've got a couple of Jessi Combs cars here. We're gonna take a look at.
Ran with the Savvy team, and they have an amazing racing program overall. So she was a great driver, but they also actually practice driving the cars. They go out and pre-run the trails. They work with the Currys, who know everything about the trails and have tons of racing experience in limited cars and really know what to do out there. And it translated into multiple wins at the Hammers, and they always ran successfully. So it's not just the car, but the whole program was top notch. You know, there's tons of details on these things that you see kind of across the board. So some of the stuff that you can look at here. So, you know, this is becoming more common around, but you look at paint marks. Well, when that bolt comes loose, you know, if that moves, you know to look at it.
Yep.
So somebody in a pit, when you come in, you know, it's an easy visual check.
Yep.
You know, here's one. There's a spare lug nut right there where you can get to it. If you
Little
drop
things.
one in the dirt, you don't have to try to dig it out. It's probably going to cross thread. You may not find it. You've got a spare right there. Here's a detail. The buckle for this, kind of by default, I would imagine, but the buckle for this strap to hold the tire in is up here. It's not right here.
Which will
because
get bashed.
cars get nerfed right here. So this buckle system is probably going to get screwed up if they get nerfed, but it's going to function. And look at where the tire sits. If they get hit, it's up against a couple of solid tubes. So it's not going to push up and smash the fuel cell. Yeah, there's...
First aid kit right behind the passenger.
Yep, easily accessible.
And I watched Jessi roll this down back door in 2017.
Oh, really?
She rolled it down back door and then had a little transmission fire flare up and then popped it back over and kept going.
Right?
It was awesome.
Here's a cool thing that we've started doing on our non-racing builds here and there is Ultra 4 requires shutoff valves on all of the fuel connections coming into the fuel cell. So, you know, this literally shuts off the fuel flow, in this case on the vent line. These are feed lines and fuel return lines. So if this thing's upside down, the first thing you do is get outside.
Cut your fuel.
You can just shut the fuel off and keep it in the cell.
That should be something I should consider.
It would be a good idea to look into that. You know, the fuel fill typically has a flapper valve, and then you go with a non-venting cap.
Yep.
So the fuel fill should be good as far as that goes. But it's also nice, you know, like your external fuel pump is mounted below the level of the fuel tank.
No
It saves you having to
stardation.
Pinch the line off, or you know, you can just shut the valve and work on your fuel system.
Yeah, this is a well put together rig.
Oh, they're very well prepped. This screen system right here, tires fly off of the rocks, and this is all paneled in so stuff doesn't get in there and hit whatever.
And cooling.
Bounce around. Yeah, and you still get airflow.
Bottom skid on your front diff that looks like it's
That's
seen
been
better
used.
days. Ah, Jessi.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with this car now in its life. It wouldn't surprise me if there was somebody racing it this season.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
I bet I would not be surprised that this is going to be out at Hammers. We have stumbled into a parallel universe where all the trucks are clean, the suspension is independent, and the paint jobs are, well, I don't even know how to describe them.
There's a lot of energy put into the finish.
These
on
are
these
something
vehicles.
else. And then, dude, look at this. I mean, what is the deal with that drag link?
So that is drag link and panhard bar, and those are built so that the axle goes straight up and down. So if you notice, the front end is triangulated. It's a triangulated four-link. So the axle linkage makes it go straight up and down.
That is wild.
And this slider system basically lets the steering and panhard port. The thing is, it doesn't even need a panhard bar.
No, it's
Is-
for triangulated, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
So there's some over constraint here, but it at least shows some thought the correct direction for sure.
Like we said several times, the fabrication and quality can't be denied on some of these guys.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is engineering and packaging.
Yeah.
And
We feel like
and
we
it's a
could use
solid
some
axle
guidance
swap.
on how to apply it, but you know, when you live in Florida, I guess this is how you spend trophy truck money. It's actually pretty cool. If you drop the ride height and put, you know, drop like 10 inches of wheel out of it, you would have something to work with.
Now, we are looking at the rear. Let's go look at the
see what
front,
doors, yeah.
because that's a mess of stuff. These are my favorite parts, how they engineer.
Yeah, so, you know, this is pretty cool. You know, hydraulic assist cylinder, which these trucks need.
Yeah.
So this is actually relatively practical. It looks like it's got a giant spacer on the hub, so that's not ideal. But
What do you
overall,
what do you think what was going to break first? Let me get your thought, then I'll give you my thought.
you know, realistically on this truck, you kind of picked the wrong one to pick on because this thing's pretty solid. You're going to screw up the wheels way before you screw up the rest of the stuff.
That is true.
It's, you know, and it's sitting all the way at the top of its travel right here. So, you know, you drop it down a little bit, all the angles that look maxed out are
I think we've lost
at their
Steven.
maximum.
He's gone to the dark side.
No, but I can acknowledge when somebody gets some of the stuff right.
Yep.
A lot of these trucks, guys, do drive them. You know,
Well, and I think these trucks, if you live in the flatlands, I mean, these to me are like Texas, Florida trucks.
yeah, that's where a lot of this is. I listen to the Truck Show podcast, and one of the things they talk about is they do the big truck shows, and they're in Texas, you know, around the southeast into Florida. It's huge in Florida.
Yeah, gumbo.
Yeah, like American Force doesn't have a giant presence on the West Coast. They're trying to push that more. And it's, I don't know, it might be kind of an uphill battle just because things are kind of different here.
We're gonna go check out the hostel.
Well, something just caught James's eye.
Oh man,
Lots of room to squirrel through here.
it's an awesome platform to build off of. I mean, this has, and I mean, the detail on this.
Yeah, this detail here is one of everyone's favorite.
That's called the drive shaft delete mod.
Yeah,
It saves rotating weight, which is the most important type of weight to get rid of.
It picks up mileage.
Yes.
You know, so
This is a hypermiler.
that's the key.
What looks to be 2-inch tubing.
Yeah, this is another good example of one that, I mean, as far as build quality goes, this is a pretty cool truck. It's got giant rod ends on all of the mounting points for all the steering. You know, this is actually sitting at ride height,
And
give or take.
The panhard and
see it.
steering.
Yeah,
They match.
They've got reasonable angles. The length is way off, but the angles are reasonable. You know, the tons of separation.
Although these Heims are going to be screaming.
Well, that's adjustment. The thing probably, it looks like it just rolled out of the shop. So, yeah, there's probably prep details, but overall, this is something that they could go drive around. You know, it might drive around Glamis and, you know, and just go cruise around and look cool.
Yep.
You know, hopefully it's got a giant rowdy motor.
I like that. That's nice right there.
What is it? Oh, this is a Cummins of some sort.
It's a Cummins in here?
Yeah. What a giant oil pan.
Yeah, this is, the fabrication isn't bad. It's just, it's not our style, and so.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's a truck that doesn't have any real function for.
It's marketing.
For our-
It's marketing.
Yeah, for
Like your truck
what
would
we
get
do.
walked right past here.
Right.
And so,
Well, check. Well, here's a good example. I saw another
That's
Ford
scary.
truck, but completely fabricated frame. You know,
But
start
this
to
is-
finish. You know, they've got a bottom welded in it. You know, and it's actually pretty well done with all the skip welds. I wouldn't mind seeing some roll cage on that, but.
these guys are destroying a lot of tires. Little Defender. I've always been partial to these.
Oh, they're cool.
I don't know if it's the square body, the English heritage, or the fact that like,
Just super bare bones, cool.
yeah, like you know that everything on this, apart from the carbon fiber, is it's there for oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah, originally they were tractors.
I don't even know what's going on here. Let's just keep moving. Oh,
We'll just cruise past the supercars and
yeah.
the Bentleys.
You know what?
and
Anyone could
whatever
throw a
all
wrap
these-
on a Bentley.
What all these cool things are.
I didn't even know that Interco made a tire
I didn't either.
to fit these.
Yeah. And what is that? A 44-inch bogger for a 30-inch wheel. A bogger for a 30. What are we doing?
No arguments,
They
bro.
make them because
No
people want
arguments.
them.
And I came by yesterday and I'm like, this Porsche Blazer is completely lost. It's like, how the heck did I end up here? I mean, this is clean.
Yeah.
This is pretty clean too.
Yeah, that one.
What?
It's kind of
Look at that.
kind of crazy when you start actually looking at it. It's like, wait a minute, why is the diff in the middle?
Yes. It's got a V drive or something?
I'm sure the transfer case is just turned up. Yeah, it's got a drop box. Yeah, this gets the monster truck action.
I think this is a mud truck.
Yeah. Oh, another Bronco.
Hey, I haven't seen a Gladiator in like 2 minutes.
I'm sure that one else down the road, you turn around, you can probably find
Oh, there's plenty.
a striker.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry our videos are all about giant monster looking trucks, but they're just so hard to miss.
You have some peculiar fascination with all these things. You need to come to SEMA more often.
It's fascinating. I mean,
You can get over them.
don't get me wrong, I am over them. But an OBS? Holy cow.
Once again, it's not the way that we would do things, but there is some cool stuff under some of these trucks.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. This Jeep is angry. Urgh.
I sure do love me some Wonder Bread.
Oh, look at it. You can't even see.
No.
That is not very safe.
I don't think that's the point.
But look at the detail work.
So you want to see the full detail?
Dude, this isn't a wrap. Feel it.
Wow. I don't know what that is.
It's etching. That's insane.
Oh, well, that says right there, 100% Dremel engraved.
Holy cow.
Well, I don't know. You probably didn't see it.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give me a subscribe, click a like, give me a comment, and check out some of these videos up here. We'll see you next time. Merricks Garage.
Is into square bodies?
What
Is having a square body convention here?
are you